Hello everyone, I hope you've been enjoying the unboxing videos that I've been putting up. I am getting ready to share with you all of our curriculum choices for the upcoming school year for kindergarten, 3rd grade, 5th grade, 7th grade, and 9th grade. But I've already gotten a lot of questions from those unboxing videos. Lots of questions from you wondering, why am I using, Janelle, why are you using this curriculum? I thought you really liked this. I thought this was working for your family. Why are you doing something different? What is going on? And so I thought I'd better just take a few minutes, put up an extra video that I didn't plan on putting up just to answer your questions, because I've gotten so many of them. I figured some of you probably haven't even reached out and asked. You probably are just wondering. And so I thought I'd better do a video about it. So we are doing things a lot differently this year than we have in the past few years. We are using different curriculum this year than we have in the past. And when I first started my homeschooling journey, I taught most of my kids all together in a group. We did not do a whole lot of independent learning. We really did everything together as a group, except usually for math. Even spelling, I combined kids together. Then I got a little burnt out and overwhelmed and needed more of my kids to be working more independently. And that's when we switched to a lot of BJU Press distance learning videos. And we've been doing those for the last couple of years, and it has worked so well for our family. It has been a huge blessing. It has allowed me to be able to homeschool so many children, so many big kids with little ones underfoot, and still manage my home and everybody to be learning what they need to be learning. And so it's been a really great fit. And so that was, bumped the camera. That was the plan this next school year, was just to continue using a lot of BJU Press distance learning videos. Obviously, if you've seen some of my other curriculum choice videos, we don't use BJU Press for everything, but we were using it for a lot of things. And some kids were using it for their complete their whole year, every subject. They were using it for almost everything. So what changed? Why are we doing things differently if it was working? Well, first and foremost, the sovereignty of God. As I look back over what caused us to have to make this decision and to switch curriculum, which I will share with you in just a moment, I am really seeing God's hand in it all, because I would have just gone probably with BJU Press for everything. But God knew what we needed and what each of my kids needed. And so about 4 months ago, my husband got laid off, and he has not found a new job yet. So that meant that we had to significantly cut our expenses for homeschooling. And I mean a huge cut in what we could spend on homeschool curriculum. So I had to start thinking differently about what next year was going to look like. And the first thing that I thought was, okay, I've been homeschooling over 15 years now. I have a lot of curriculum stored up in my curriculum tubs. I need to start looking through that and seeing what is in there that we could use again, that I could pull out and use again in the upcoming school year with my different kids. And so I started going through those and looking at what we could reuse. And I had a pretty good stack of stuff that I thought, okay, there's really not much that we need to buy, maybe some workbooks, because we had already used workbooks for a particular curriculum. But I started getting overwhelmed and having a little panic attack, because what it meant was that I was going to have to teach every single thing to every single one of my kids. And I just knew reality, that is not possible. I was going to be homeschooling, or I am going to be homeschooling 5 different kids, 5 different grades next year, plus having a 3-year-old. I knew that it was not possible for me to teach every single subject to each of my kids. And so I said, okay, I've got some of this used curriculum that we've used before. What ones do I think I could teach and I could teach well? Which ones could maybe my kids do a little bit more independently? I looked at our homeschool budget, which wasn't much, and I thought, okay, what other curriculum out there could I use that's less expensive? If I'm going to need to purchase something, it's going to have to be something that's less expensive. And so I started researching other curriculum options that, I had been interested in, but I just thought, we've been using BJU Press. It's been working. We're going to keep doing that. So I hadn't thought much about it. And so that really led me to Master Books and to Cornerstone Curriculum. And these were things that I had been looking at in the past. I've used Cornerstone Curriculum in the past. And so that's why we ended up going with a lot of those, because they were a little bit cheaper. Master Books was just less expensive, and I love that they are still from a biblical worldview like BJU Press is, and same thing with Cornerstone Curriculum. So that was really the big reason for me thinking differently and planning things differently. Obviously, because I have a YouTube channel and because I have a blog, I do often get curriculum for free in exchange for reviewing it and sharing it with you. And so I knew that that was a possibility. So what I did was I kind of laid out everything that I wanted to use for the next school year, considering our budget, right? What we had to limit ourselves to. And I was still over budget. And I said, okay, what companies could I reach out to and just say, would you be willing to give this to me for free? And if they did, then we'd be able to use it. And if they didn't, we wouldn't be able to use it, not because I didn't want to use it, but because we just couldn't afford it. And I would need to go back to using what was in our tubs, what we already had. And so what we're using this current school year is a mixture of things that I was able to get for free. It's a mixture of things that we already had from 15 years of homeschooling that I was able just to pull out, or maybe, like I said, just buy workbooks and kind of add what we needed to a curriculum that I already had. And then I really had to think about, what does each child really need to focus on? What areas are they struggling in? That's where I used the bulk of our homeschool budget for. If there's a particular child who really needed some good math instruction, and you'll see when I do the curriculum choice videos, I do have several kids using BJU Press distance learning for math, because that is just something that they need that instruction in. And like I said, I just can't practically teach everybody every subject. And so we're still using a lot of BJU Press distance learning, but not as much as before. My high schooler is needing to work independently. So the high school years, they should be working independently. But my high schooler this year, my 9th grader, does learn better visually, seeing things and having somebody present information to her. She still learns great through books, but that presentation of information really helps solidify what she's learning. I'm kind of the same way. So I was one of those ones that was going to be in college for my college the lectures. I was there, even if I knew it was going to be just a regurgitation of everything that I had just read. I needed those lectures to help solidify things. And so because I know that about my daughter, she's a lot like me in that way, we knew that she needed some lecture components. So we decided to go with the BJU Press, invest our money into that. So that's kind of why we chose what we did. I will address somebody asked, why aren't you using essentials in writing this year? And I didn't show it in my unboxing videos, and so we are not using essentials in writing. I love the program. I did not plan on using it this next year. So the finances and the budget and all of that was not an issue. That was not the reason we didn't go with essentials in writing. And we also didn't go with it just because I didn't like it. I actually really liked it. The reason we're not going with it this year for my 9th grader is because she is using a curriculum called Starting Points, and that includes writing. So there was no point in having her do 2 curriculums. And Starting Points covers Bible, it covers American history, worldview, literature, and writing. And so I wanted her to have that, to use that curriculum. And since it already had writing, there is no need for another writing curriculum. We probably will go back to essentials in writing for 10th grade. Anyways, hopefully that answers some of the questions as my curriculum choice videos come out and you start pondering, wait a second, why is Janelle using that? I thought she loved this other thing. Well, I probably did, and I just couldn't afford it, or the Lord guided and directed me to something else. And that's just something that I think is wonderful about homeschooling and important for us to remember is that we really need God's guidance when we are choosing curriculum. There's things that I love and my kids love, but it might not be what they need and what I need and what they need in that particular school year. There's curriculum that my kids love. They wanted to do the BJU Press history. They wanted to do the BJU Press science. And you know what? God knew that that was not what they needed this year. I wanted them to work more independently again. God knew that is not what we needed this year. And I'm starting to just see God's hand in it all as I'm seeing that we really need to focus on being unified as a family again this year. And so having to do some of the curriculum that we're going to do where we all come together and I'm teaching one thing to all my kids. I'm excited to see how God uses that to kind of strengthen our family bonds again. So God knows. And so just an encouragement, if you don't have the finances and you're using things that you wouldn't prefer to use, God knows there's a reason and He's going to use it in ways that we might not ever fully understand, but He's definitely got a plan and He's working. So I wanted to just share that with you because I've had so many questions about why are you using this? Why aren't you using that? And so I wanted to just let you know that is how we came to the curriculum decisions that we did. I am so excited though, because these are curriculums that I probably would not have used. I would not have probably used the Cornerstone curriculum for the younger ones that I'm so excited to share with you about, A Heart for You, China. My kids are excited, I'm excited, and I wouldn't have chosen that if my husband hadn't gotten laid off. But I think God's going to really use it in a powerful way in my family. So you never know what God is up to and how He's moving and working. So get ready. My curriculum choices are going to be coming your way for 9th grade, 7th grade, 5th grade, 3rd grade, and kindergarten. Wow. This is going to be probably an exhausting year, but hopefully a fun one and one that the Lord is, I think, going to really work and move and bless and grow us a lot. All right, you guys. I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.